This is the third installment in our series of videos showcasing student films made during the 2023 Game Off entry period. This episode, we will be looking at the game It Follows without sound. You can find more information about this game down below in the description, where you can also check out the previous episodes in this series. I am very happy to be back for another year of showing off all the amazing games that were made for the Game Off. For those who are new here, hi, I'm the host. I run a channel about games, and I have been doing these devlogs for a few years now, following a game jam. A game jam is when a bunch of developers come together to make a game in a limited amount of time with a limited set of rules. And the Game Off is an annual game jam with a set theme that takes place every February. For those of you who like to watch these videos, but would prefer to listen to them as a podcast, you can find the podcast version of this series on various podcast platforms. You can find more information down below in the description. The theme for this year's Game Off was unreliable narrative, and there were over 2,600 games made for it. The theme was one of my favorites in recent years, and I had high hopes for the quality of games, and I was not disappointed. So let's jump right into it. It Follows Without Sound is a horror puzzle platformer. Your goal is to escape the house while avoiding an entity that pursues you throughout the entirety of the game. The art style reminds me of the old point-and-click adventure games from the 90s, but instead of being pixel art, they use a low-poly art style that gives the game a nice, eerie feeling. While playing the game, you will explore the house, solve puzzles, and try to hide from the entity. As you progress through the game, you will learn more about the story through environmental storytelling. Now, before we get into the game, I want to talk a little bit about the menu and how it establishes the tone for the rest of the game. The main menu features a TV with static and a VHS player with some grainy footage of a person walking around the house. And once you start the game, the cutscenes play on a separate layer, and you can interact with them while the scene is playing. Now, this might not seem like a big deal, but it helps establish the tone of the game early on. It lets us know that the story is unreliable and plays into the overall mystery of the game. As I played through the game, I was reminded of the Silent Hill games, particularly Silent Hill 2. Not only does the main character seem otherworldly like Pyramid Head, but also the player character is trying to escape their past. The dialogue in the game is also presented in a similar way to Silent Hill 2, with the character narrating their thoughts. However, the thing that really stood out to me was the sound design. The developers did an excellent job of making the player feel vulnerable by adding subtle sounds that really sell the atmosphere. One of the most unnerving sounds in the game is the hum of electricity. This sound is used sparingly throughout the game, but each time it appears, it makes you feel like you are being watched. Another great example of the sound design is the breathing. Depending on what room you are in, the breathing will change. Sometimes it'll become louder, other times it'll become soft. This again adds to the sense of dread throughout the entire game. The last thing I want to mention is the ending of the game. I don't want to spoil anything, but it plays into the whole unreliable narrator theme and leaves the player questioning everything that has just occurred. Now it is time to look at some of the devlog entries to see how the game was made. The first devlog entry is from February 8th. The team has finished the enemy AI and movement system and are testing out the level. I think this was a great choice because it fits well with the overall theme of the game. The final devlog entry is from March 3rd, 2023. At this point, they have integrated particle effects and lighting to enhance the visuals. They also show off the new UI, which looks very polished. They then go over the different systems they implemented, such as the minimap, enemy, The last thing they show off is the main menu and how all the elements work together to set the tone for the rest of the game. It was interesting to see how the team progressed throughout the game off. Each devlog shows a fully realized version of the game, and the improvements are noticeable. There are many things that stood out to me when playing through the game. The graphics are well done and fit the theme of the game perfectly. The environments are detailed and immersive, and the sound design is top-notch. The game does a great job of building suspense and keeping the player on edge, and the story is intriguing and keeps the player guessing. Overall, I had a great time playing through It Follows without sound, and I highly recommend checking it out if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. I would also like to take a moment to say thank you to the amazing patrons and members. Your support really does help me out, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Hopefully, I was able to find another game that you enjoy in this series. And until then, I'll see you in the next one.